or you need to know about your sitting posture. So, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Swati. I'm an executive power coach. And yes, we talk about posture most of the time. So, today we're going to talk about your sitting posture and the one most important thing that you need to know about your sitting posture. Now, for if you have followed me for more than 10 minutes, you'd probably know that I speak a lot about posture, and I also say that human bodies are not meant for static postures, whether be it sitting, standing, or any other posture. So we are meant to move every few minutes. So when it comes to sitting, because that's what most of us do with our jobs nowadays, and especially the work from home situation, so we are sitting down for longer and longer hours and taking less and less breaks. So before I dive into the content for today, let me just tell you about this one thing that motivated me to do this video. Was I had been in conversation with a lady, and she had been sitting for like 10 plus hours every day at her desk with minimal breaks, so probably getting up for a little break here and there for lunch, coffee, etc. So probably 3 or 4 breaks in that 10 plus hours. So when I met her and she had back pain, we worked through it. And then she said, okay, now I get up every 20 to 30 minutes, but I'm still feeling the strain when I sit. So I asked her to show me how she's sitting, and then she did admit that once she starts off in a good posture, then she slouches down into the chair, which is most of us, right? We all tend to do that. So it is not just getting up frequently, it's also when you're sitting, what is your posture when you're sitting, right? And we all know we got to sit up straight, etc., etc., etc. But how do you actually do it? And why should you do it, right? So if you know the what's and the whys in the house, uh, you've got it all sorted out, right? So just looking at my notes here. So yeah, I thought this was similar to, oh, I'm going to go on a diet to lose weight. I'm going to eat so and so calories, say whatever the number, the magic number is, say 1200 calories every day. Okay, it's just a random example. I don't know what it's supposed to be. I never calorie count. So suppose it's 1200 calories, and I say, oh, I'm gonna eat junk, but I'm going to limit it to 1200, and I'm going to see if I can lose weight. That's not the way it works, right? You got to eat healthier stuff and then calorie count. And basically, you got to put everything together. So it's similar to that. If you say, oh, I'm getting up every 20 minutes, but when I sit, I'm going to slouch and sit, or want to work out, right? So you got to be in a good posture when you're sitting down as well. So I was reading this very interesting study which had been done by the Radiological Society of North America. Yes, I'm reading that out of North America. And they had a new form of MRI, so basically a scanning unit, where they had three groups of people. So one set of people were slouching. One was sitting really upright and erect. You must have seen people when they sit, they go really upright, like a very military posture. And one was slightly more relaxed sort of sitting. So when they did MRI studies, what they realized is the groups that were slouching, obviously it was more with them, but also those who were absolutely upright, like if I'm sitting really stiff and military position here, they realized that these two groups of people had a lot of excessive wear and tear on their discs in the long run. So obviously they ran a study which went through like a long period of time. And they realized that people who are relaxed sitting, not slouching, but relaxed sitting, we'll get into this, they had probably the best posture out of the three lots. So now we know that you should not, obviously, we all know we should not slouch. You should not be in a very erect position, but we should be in a relaxed sitting position where your back is completely supported and you're sitting right back into the chair. However, today I'm going to give you this one gold nugget. If you follow this, there is absolutely no way that you would slouch or sit hyper corrected. So, like in that very erect position. What I want you to do is I want you to feel your sit bones. Okay. So just take your hands and pop them under your bottom as you're sitting right now. So just put your hands under your bottom here. And you know where your bottom meets the thigh, so where your leg actually starts. So put your hand under each side. I know this sounds weird, but that's the only way to get them, right? And is you put your hands under your bottom, and where you feel a bony projection coming onto your fingers, where your bottom is meeting the thigh area, exactly there, those bony prominences that you can feel on your hand are called the sit bones. So if you are, well, you can do this later, but if you are doing this along with me on the video, when you put your hands under your bottom and you feel your sit bones, try and slouch. So let's just go slouch. Gosh, that's so uncomfortable. So slouch, and you will feel your sit bones roll away on your hands. Okay, so basically your weight will be more on your tailbone and your sacrum, as in the tailbone, as in the end of the spine area. This is what happens when you slouch. Now, if you put your hands under and feel your sit bones and you go in a very erect position, you'll feel your sit bones sort of roll forwards on your hands. So when that happens, that means you're sitting too erect. But that position in between the slouch and the very erect position, that is your neutral sitting posture, where your sit bones are sitting exactly over your hands and not rolling forwards or rolling backwards. The weight is not forwards on your thighs or backwards on your tailbone, but in between. So if you found your sit bones, basically, you hit the jackpot, right? You're going to sit correctly. And also, you are going to make sure that please sit right back into your chair. If your feet are dangling off the floor, put a stool there, or if you have the footrest on your chairs, that which most of our office chairs have nowadays, you can put your feet on there. So once you have your sit bones sorted out, and once you're sitting back in your chair, whether you need to put your feet on a stool or whether you need to take like a backrest or a pillow or a cushion or a rolled up towel in your back area, in your lumbar spine, you know that you are in an optimal sitting posture. But this does not give you a license to not get up and walk around every 20 to 30 minutes. Okay, so you still got to take your posture breaks, as I call them. You need to still walk around every 20 to 30 minutes. Alrighty, so just to sum it all up, what is that one most important thing you need to know if you need to have that optimal sitting posture or that corrected sitting posture is your sit bones. Sit right back into your chair. Make sure your feet are not dangling off. You have a little stool or some footrest under your feet, and you're sitting right back. So if you need, you roll up a towel or a cushion or a pillow and have it on your backrest, because sometimes chairs don't have that lumbar support, that curve in the lower back. All right. So if you are interested in knowing more about these little tips and tricks, sorry, these little hacks that will help you to maintain a good posture, feel free to join my free Facebook group. I will leave a link in the description below. For those of you watching me on Instagram, it's on my bio. It says my community. For those of you who are watching me on LinkedIn, I will leave the description. It's also in my profile on my page. All right. I hope this was useful to some of you. I feel like somebody needed to hear about this, so we did this. If you are on the YouTubes, please, if you like what I'm talking about, do go over, like, subscribe, press that bell icon so you know the next time I come on live. All righty, guys.